Toastmaster Lydia, Devia. It's important to pronounce names correct. So.
Yes.
Yes. Gabby knows this.
Jackie.
Oh, Jackie. I just love your accent.
Moving on.
Her parents' influence will share how her parents' influence have guided her life. Hang on tight, be prepared, the show must go on. Here is Toastmaster Lydia.
Good morning, Toastmasters. Today I will share 3 things. A little about my parents' influence on me, growing up in New York, and looking back at my life today. By a show of hands, how many of you were influenced by your parents? Speaker 1 and Tori introduced how they were influenced by parental health. Me too, of course. Much of my formation is due to my parents' upbringing. Old-fashioned, hard-working, conservative, culturally traditional mom and dad were coming in from an old country as they emigrated to the United States. My parents were the real salt of the earth kind of couple who never complained, but were very observant, cognizant, and critical of their surroundings. Our hard work ethic and belief that people are genuinely good was instilled upon us very early on. So be kind, help others, but be careful and don't get squashed or taken for granted was another teaching that resounds in our mind daily. And lastly, hang on tight. Be prepared and keep moving, sort of like the show must go on. Is a creed that I live with today. So, another day I'm going to tell you more about my parents, but today it's my icebreaker, so I'll tell you about myself. So I grew up in New York City, Manhattan, in the South Bronx, and later, between the 60s and the 90s, I'm a product of public schools. I started in the first grade, not knowing English, not knowing the rules, and everything was new to me and puzzling to boot. Why couldn't I go up the slide? Why couldn't I run down the hall with all the kids? It was so much fun. Well, things were so different. Why couldn't I color with the crayon that I wanted? Or push kids that pushed me? Couldn't play that? Quickly I got into trouble, and I learned that I was different. I hated homework. I didn't have dolls, so girls wouldn't play with me. I didn't have coordination, so I couldn't be like Jack. Who the hell is Jack? Hello, boy. Anyway, so I played with boys. I played tag, dodgeball, and race boys. Yeah, that was the most fun, especially with them. I became very popular with the guys, and on their level, there was a girl who could. In junior high school, as it was called then, I found myself in a blackboard jungle of a school where many boys were beat up and hazed walking through the front door. True story. It was then, I guess, I was glad I was a girl and not a boy. I had many advantages. I now spoke English. I liked school and loved learning. And I was smart and I had a lot of friends. My parents kept me grounded daily. Hang on tight, be prepared, the show must go on. New York was a melting pot. No man was an island. There was a lot of love in all of these schools. It had been some years since Martin Luther King had been shot and killed when my big brother ushered us out of school. So as a low socioeconomic demographic, we were all connected, all united. We sang Kumbaya and we shall overcome. And we did overcome, that is. You know, things were not easy. After all, it was the civil rights movement. Yet parents were still in control, teachers were still in authority, and the police were accountable. We endured heat waves with no AC in those concrete jungle apartments, inner city crime, blackouts, energy crisis, and And yes, we endured reception. We hung on tight. Now into high school, which were the toughest years of my life, this is when I continued to hang on tight when things were tough. I adapted and kept moving. You know, we didn't have a curfew. I would accompany my brother in the evenings and walk to Chess City in 96 on Broadway and learn to play chess with girls and much less being found in a smoking men-filled chess lounge at midnight. I was exposed to a lot of good environments. Early on, I started working at 14, so I was prepared to continue with my parents' work ethic and continue to excel in school. I joined the drama club, track team, school gymnastics team. I even formed my own soccer team that I kept for 20 years later. Looking back, because of my work ethic and my grit, regardless of any type of employment, and I have been employed in less than glamorous jobs or positions, I still excel in everything I do. From hosting or serving tables, commercial painting, roofing, construction, being a school teacher, from 0 to K to 12, and being an entertainer, yeah. I've held corporate jobs, city, state, and even federal jobs. And I have my life in company, ran to the ground, even before COVID. Currently, I continue to be an independent contractor and as an insurance agent. So a bit about my personal life. Yeah, I've gone through divorce, being a single mom, marrying again, adopting 2 adolescent children, and began to make a blended family that has just celebrated 35-year anniversary. All while giving back to the community and teaching my children to do volunteer work and help others. I didn't despair. I didn't give up despite those economic setbacks. I kept paddling. I kept on tight. Held on tight because I don't focus on problems. I look for solutions. I work hard and prepare for life. You know, I have achieved multiple accolades, including a Doctor of Education and Leadership, Texas A&M, Haynesville, Teacher of the Year, 2014, Florida, San Antonio, and last month nominated as a finalist in 5 different categories at several Business Awards 2022. So you see, I have been successful and I have achieved a great deal in America. So I told you a little about my parents' influence on me, a lot about my life in New York, as well as I look back at my life in school. In effect, my parents' influence is the one that I passed on to you. Hang on tight, be prepared, and keep moving because the show must go on. Thank you. Wow.